Believe your life. Good morning, traders. Vic, are we live? Can you see it live?
I don't get the link yet, but that was yesterday also.
I think it's live already.
I think we're live now. I'll grab the link.
Okay, so good morning, traders. Welcome to our London trading room. This is live on YouTube and live on trading.live. So let's go. We will go through the charts that we have. We're going to go through almost everything at the start of the day. These are charts from yesterday. I'll make comments on them, on what happened to those trades as we go. And at the end of it, there will be a Q&A if you want. Please wait. You can get questions. If you have questions, we'll take them. So let's go. Dollar index. Dollar index pretty much is consolidating. I think there's a very good chance that we're going to retest this low. Most likely come back here, drop to this level, and then we could be in a flat for upside. I don't think it's downside as yet because we didn't break the top. So most likely, even if they come back to the bottom, it's going to be more upside. Is there a chance for this to probably do that? Yeah, that could happen. That would be a buy setup if we're going to look for that, right? So yesterday was a buy setup. Today would be a buy setup. If I'm going to be buying this on the 15, I think I'll probably wait for it to break out, wait for it to make a small 15 minutes flag and then take the trade. If you want to buy it on the 60, your entry has to be above the top here, and that's a bad idea. So it's upside, but we really don't have a buy setup as yet. Should it go down? If this is going to go down, then if this is, like I said, if they're coming back to retest this low, you'd have to wait for a flag like this. Any flag like this, we're selling to the bottom and then up. I'll actually show you this very trade on the pound because we did that yesterday. That was your sell yesterday on the dollar pound, right? Making the drop here, giving us the flag, come to break the low, take your profit, watch for the next up move. So if you were with us yesterday, you saw that this would have been your trade. And actually, if you were there to get a trade to the upside, if you're trading this morning, I don't know if you could have got that yesterday, but this morning, this would have been a buy setup here. You should have been in this trade, exactly the same place. Now you're actually assuming that it's going to break out. How far? We'll see. Why? We will see how far, because if you come back to the 4 hours, this could either be all. We spoke about that yesterday. This could be all for the running flat, or they might drop one more. So if I'm going to look for a drop one more, what is likely going to happen is you're going to break out of this structure. And if it's going to drop, it will start to drop. We'll get a flag here. We'll sell it to the downside. Maybe we would look at that as a running flat. I spoke about that yesterday, that maybe we'll take it as a running flat if that happens, because both of these are, well, more or less sharp, and you have a correction in the middle. So maybe we look at it as a running flat. As of now, we're expecting that this is going to actually go through the top. So we're buying this with intention that it's going to go through the top. But if it doesn't go, you have to get out and think. So your buy would have been here if you bought this morning. If you were there this morning, your buy, the buy would have come right here. If you're not in that buy, wait for another flag. Don't put an entry above this stop. That's a bad idea. Because if it's going down, all it needs to do is break the top and then turn, and you might not get break even here. So if it's going to continue to go up and you miss the first one here, you've got to wait for another flag and then take the entry. Better if the flag is out of the structure. So you literally want that flag to come out of the structure here and then go. So let's see. If it's going to go up to break the top, we're going to get flags. So I'm not really worried about it. But I'll take off the sell now. This was the... Take everything off, and now we're waiting. That was a sell. This was the low. We're in this structure. Hope that it breaks out. Can it come back down from there? Well, all those possibilities exist, but we're not going to look at that possibility until it starts to happen. We're going to look at the possibility of breaking out and see if it breaks out. Silver, very good trade. If you took the trade, you did well. It dropped. You should close the trade in here. There's a buy setup here, but I'm a little skeptical about this silver buy, and I'll tell you why. Right. First, we actually came pretty deep here, and I'm not sure we're making a 1, 2, 3 in here without breaking this low. That's a possibility, but I'm not sure that's what we're trying to do right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait to see if this drops. The next reason to buy is not such a good idea is because we've got very deep pullback in it. So this breaking the top and then coming back here, maybe even doing this before it dropped, looks normal to me. So I would skip this buy, but instead I'll put that buy in something else, probably pound if I get a trade, I set up on the pound. Gold if I get a buy set up on the gold. Right? So if I get a buy set up on gold, we will assume that we're making a running flat, which means this is going to come here for a possible running flat. So if I get a flag here, this is a better buy setup. It's making a flag, let it make a flag here. You get this here, and this becomes a better buy setup because you're looking for this trade. Make a flat and come back one more down. Now, because this is a possible running flat, silver might go up, but not very much to the upside. Now, if you're wrong about this one, if you're wrong about the running flat, and let's say this, for example, belongs to something here as an expanding flat, then this will just totally fly out. This would be a better trade for you if you're wrong. If you're right, well, you get a small trade. If you're wrong, you actually get a very big trade. Now, very likely because we broke the low, we're just going to be coming here, make a new low. This would be a sell, but this could be a buy setup this morning. So we'll leave it for a buy. We'll take out the sell and silver because that's already over. And I still don't like the buy setup there. I'll wait a little at that one. Euro, perfect. That was your sell. You should have closed the trade somewhere here. I think my traders figure out you have closed it somewhere in here or somewhere here. It's going back up, but it's not breaking out of the structures yet. So I wouldn't say that this one is trying to make a bigger flat here, for example. Right, that possibility exists, and this contracting flat might be right. So when you're getting all of these conflicting information as to which of those patterns is the correct one, just wait for the confirmation. So the confirmation for a sell here would be pretty easy. If it drops, we sell. So I'm going to take all of these out. I'm going to put it here because that trade was perfect. I'm going to put it here, and if this drop, that's your sell setup. The drop will come beyond the low. So if this is the drop from where it is, we're going to get a drop like this, and then probably look for upside. Maybe even a bigger drop. What if it's not dropping? What if they're actually trying to go up to retest this stuff? Well, this would have been a buy if you bought that, but you would have to put that to break even. If it makes another flag here, then we can go for a buy to the top. It's possible that that could happen. We will change these patterns because initially we had this pattern. And then this happened. So looks good as an expanding flat. Well, if they actually go up there, and this would be a pattern of its own, a bigger version of a pattern, one more down and then up. Because this came back to the bottom, so we're not literally taking off. We're most likely making it flat. So buy setup here, I think we can put it as both ways and we'll keep it. You can put the sell entry, you can't put a buy entry yet. So I'm going to take this one off. That's out already. Pound. The sell was perfect. We'll take off the sell. We're looking for a buy setup. We don't have a setup. We're waiting for a buy setup. Aussie. Yep, you're waiting for a buy setup. Works like magic. So remember yesterday I said, Aussie, we're not going to be selling it here. Not a good idea. If you're selling Aussie, you need a really good flat here. Well, you didn't get it. This was a perfect buy if anybody bought this. If you bought that as a perfect buy setup. If you got a buy from here in a lower time frame, that would have been great too. So let's see if on the 15 we had anything. Yep, on the 15, you do have a chance to buy lower if you wanted to, right? Okay, you bought Aussie, great, well done. Sorry, guys, I couldn't join you this morning. My daughter really started acting up. I don't know what's happening. Seems like she's missing her mom more, so she's getting more attached to me. And this morning, she didn't even want to go with the nanny. She was like literally hysterical. So I had to stay with her for a longer period of time, getting her to stay with the nanny, which is strange. She never did that, but you know, she's acting up because the mother is not here. She's in Russia right now. They'll come back soon. So, okay, let's move on. So this one is going to come back. And again, here, I think we're making a running flat. At least that was the plan yesterday, right? So yesterday when we were here, we're thinking, well, once we break this low, we have to come back either for a running flat or for total upside, right? And that means that buy is almost like a giveaway. You have to take it, right? When you're in a buy like that, there are two things you're thinking. Either this thing comes here, make a running flat, go back, make a new low, and then go back up. Or I'm wrong about a running flat and it gets me here. In that case, yeah, good for me. Do I think it's going to go there? I think so. This might become a running flat of its own here. get back to the top there, becomes a running flat, come back here, because this is really sharp. Well, not really, but relatively sharp. So I think we can, this looks more corrective. So we could get back to the top, come back here, and then go back there and then drop again, because this would be a flat if that happens. So basically, when we do these forecasts, most of them are way ahead of time. Like this down move here, it's not after the fact, it's way before it happens. Like I just showed you that forecast. It's way before it's going to happen that we are already preparing these charts. So since we're broadcasting also on trading.live, if there are new traders who have seen this for the very first time and you'd like to learn this method, send me a Skype message and I'll tell you how you can get access to it. All right, so let's go. Watch it when it comes back here, because at this point here, you want to make sure you're positive. Should it drop, we will sell, because the sell would break this low. And then we're definitely going to be buying it. Now, would it drop? I don't know. You don't have to know that. You're in the buy. What do you care if it's going to drop? You can't lose in that trade, right? All you have to do is stay with that trade, move the stops up, and then wait until see how if it keeps going. Well, good for you. The bigger the correction, the more we'll have to. So this one is an active buy since our trader trade, but I'll leave it as waiting for a flag for those who are not in the trade. New Zealand, yesterday we said this could go both ways because this pretty much is big, but then they go back up, and the buy in New Zealand also would have been here. This was a perfect buy at this point if you bought it there. Probably get it to break even now. I can see them pulling back and probably even making one more. This could also be a running flat, and will come to break this low, then go back up. Maybe this would be the one that takes off. So if that takes off, you go to the higher time frame and say, well, if it goes from there, what would it be? Well, in this case, I doubt it's going to go from there because we're literally expecting it to come and break the low. And that forecast starts from here going down. And then it made a bigger one. We move it to that point. So we're going to move this now to here. And there's a good chance this is going to drop, break the low, and then go back up. I think we can clearly see the pattern. And if from here, we're going to go up, we will buy. So go back to the 1 hour. If this confirms the running flat, if you're in the trade good, if it confirms the running flat here, we'll get a sell set up soon. You'll probably get break even or small profit on this, depending on where you see the flag for the sell and you close it. And this could be a good trade to the downside. If it's going up, any flag or correction it makes now becomes a buy setup. As you come to the top for a possible running flat, you have to be more cautious with the buy, which means you want a better pattern. You want a better flag to say, well, okay, I can get break even out of this flag. Right? If the flag is a much stronger flag, then you know you can get break even out of it. We're looking for something like this, and that means we are about to get it. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually consolidate here. And then go break the top and then come down. Because we've got a flat in here and we've got a flat here. So a flat here would make sense before they do this to come back. So maybe from now to New York, we don't have anything. We just get sideways movement. Yen. Okay, so yen yesterday we're looking for a buy. If you got tagged, okay, you could have got tagged here, you could have got tagged there. I think you had enough time to close the trade. If not here, you close the trade there. And you should close it. Let's see. Yeah, you could have closed it anywhere in here. Don't keep it. By rule, once it breaks the top and start to pull back like that, you close it. I would go with a possible running flat. You can re-enter, put an entry above the top. So if you're not in the trade and you shouldn't be in the trade, put an entry above the top. And this could possibly be a running flat. So after the running flat, we'll expect one more impulse to the top here. So the entry is above the top, but if you get a better entry in the buy, you'll have to come down here and see if they drop. When this drop, if it goes up, make a flag here, that's a trade. If not, buy above the top. Right? Because we're coming to this one here. Swiss came down back, and like I said yesterday, there's a good chance Swiss is just making a bigger flat. So the question is this going to break through or does this go back one more? I think we're going back one more. I can see it probably channel there. My traders, you know how to trade that. So we're looking at a possibility that this here could be a running flat. Go back up there, break the top again, come back down, maybe as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, or one sharp wave. You're going to get this, and then you're going to get upside. So I would say we look for a buy setup here, go right on this one here, look for a buy setup. If I have to put an entry right now, I'll put an entry somewhere here for the upside. If I have to wait for a flag, that might be the best option. Remember, this trade is a small trade. You're only going to break the stop. This is not going to take off. Well, if it takes off, good, but that's not what we're expecting it to do. Right? And then we'll come back down. So we're making a big correction in the 4 hour for upside. It's going to look like this, where this go back up there and then come back here, probably like this. You'll get this. And then you start looking for that buy setup. See how far it takes you. Does it just take us to this, or does it take us higher? We'll see. So there's a lot of trades up and down there before you actually get the big trade. CAD. Okay, but that's a deep pullback. I didn't expect them to make such a deep pullback. Let's see what we're looking at. Probably a flat before it goes up. Somewhere here, they'll probably have a flat and then go up. So this can come down a little more, but probably make a flat here, go back. I don't see this literally dropping here, right? It could, but I don't see that happening. So we go back to the 1 hour and decide if we have to sell it, whether to take it. So yep, there is a sell setup forming, but I would say if we're going to sell this, we want more correction. We literally want this to do something like this. And then, right? Because if you try to sell at the bottom here, the risk is they will just tag you and go back up. The biggest structure is upside. So this one I would take off at no trade. Euro CAD, the buy was good. If you took the second buy there, after this one, if you close this and took the second buy, well, then you probably have to be closing it. Well, your stop should be here. So with this pullback, you didn't have a chance. You're waiting for a break even. So it's still a valid trade if you're in it. Your stop is here. If you close the first one for break even and you didn't put the second one on, well, good for you. You can actually put an entry above this stop to see if this takes off, because it's likely going to take off. We're looking at it as possible 1, 2, 3, and up. So if it goes, it goes. If you're in this one and you're waiting for it to go break even, leave the stop here and see if you can get it to go back up to break even. Would make sense. On the 15, let me see if there was an exit. Actually, you had there 3 hours there. For my traders, it's like you tag you and then 1, 2, 3 didn't go. You probably know that it either have to take off or come back for running flat. So I don't think any of my traders would stay in that trade, but for the sake of argument that, well, you didn't see this happen and now you're waiting for the exit, it's probably going to go back up. It's a buy setup, by the way, if you're asking, it's a buy setup right now. Either you buy it here or you buy it there, your choice. Understanding the risk, right? Euro Swiss, kind of a buy setup. I think it's too early. We have this buy setup here. That might just do this, make a flat and come back then again. So if you're going to buy this, you're buying it with a lot of caution. It is a buy setup. This one came back to the low, so I'm not very enthusiastic about this buy yet. This is going to come lower. Let's wait and see. If it takes off like a rocket, you'll have to. If it doesn't go and just break this stop, you have to get out for break even. So you can put an entry over here. But as soon as they break this stop, if they don't go, then they break this stop. If it doesn't keep going, but start to pull back, you have to close the trade somewhere here. So I'll put that yeah, it's an aggressive buy, sorry. Yeah, not so. It's an aggressive buy. Your palm? It's kind of coming down here, but I don't like, these are 2 sharp waves. So this thing has to go back up and come back down, and then we'll consider whether we got a buy setup. So I say we leave it. It's not making the range is small and the trades setups are not coming immediately. So you wouldn't get much of it. Here in New Zealand. Okay, we broke the top. Remember, when we broke the top, you should be looking for sell setups. Well, if you did, you did well. You probably are in the trade already. If you didn't, let's see what's the best entry today. Okay, the best entry would have been this one. But that's gone. So let's see if this pulls back. Put an entry here and go for the trade. This would be the trade if it pulls back. So there's a good chance it's already pulling back. Let's see if we get that high, and then we go for a sell setup. So we're looking for a sell setup. There's a flag to sell. We can see that. Euro Oz is coming down. We broke the top. So let's see where we are. Yeah, we broke the top. This could drop literally. It still looks one more up. This here still looks one more up. So if you want to buy, put an entry over there for the buy setup. So I'll take this buy off. We didn't buy it there, right? So put this here. If you want to buy, it's still a buy. The only way we're going to sell this, and it's very likely that it's coming down, is I want this to drop some more here and then make a flag, and then we sell. So a flag like this, a small one without that top there would work. A flag like this will work. Many flags that we could get a sell. So we'll wait and see. That looks like a sell setup from there. Actually, it's a very good sell. I'll change it to sell setup. Okay, Euro Yen not coming down, so we'll just leave this here. There's a good chance it might drop and then go back up, but just leave it. Pound New Zealand. We still have the same thing, and I think we're coming down up. We need a flag here. If we get a flag here, that's a good sell. And we're starting to make something here. So this could be a flag for downside. Let's see. It's pretty small, but something like this would have been perfect. Something like this would have been perfect. So we need to see if we can get something like that in there. Let's see in the 15 what it looks like. Yeah, not the best setup for a sell because you still have one and you got a little pullback. Let it go back up. And then we put an ensure here and see if this drops. And then we know that sell is good because if you get a flag, you get at least one more impulse. And we're heading for the bottom. So good one. Let's see, we've got two. Let's see if this is the third one. I like the sell setup. Let's put an ensure, wait for a sell. Pound was going up, we broke the low, so the buy is a good idea. It's actually, you can buy it lower. You can buy it in somewhere here. Above this top, but you got to be careful. They do have the tendency to kind of tag you and bring it on back. So if you want to stay above the top, it's okay. Just a couple pips. How's the pound Swiss, right? Let's see it. Pound Swiss buy, pound Oz buy. Pound Oz, we're waiting for the trade. The buy would wait for the sell. Put it buy above here. Should it go more, but wait for the sell? Any flag here will sell. Punkat. Punkat made a deep pullback here, so we can take the chance that it's going to drop. And take this chance that it's going to drop, put an ensure here for the sell. It's a pretty deep one. But should it drop, we want the trade. If it's just going to make a flat here like this, 1, 2, 3 to go back up, like 1, 2, 3 here to go back up. I think we'll take our chance of getting out the break, even if I take the small loss. I'm willing to do that. So on the 15, let's see if we can get a better entry. And the 15, you can actually get a better entry, put it here. That's a better entry. For the downside, should it drop immediately like this? You go back up, take break even. Should it go true down? That's your trade. I think there's a high probability this thing drop because we already have 1, 2, 3. So let's see what it drop. Changes to an active sell. Pang Yen. Okay, so we've got one piece down and we're getting one piece up. Nothing much. Put it like this. So it would be nice to get one more down then go, but this can be enough of for the correction, and this one goes up. I would say be careful of buying at the top here. If they pull back and then we go, that would be a better buy. So go back to the 1 hour where we think it's going to go well. has to go somewhere here and then start looking for downside. Aussie Swiss, we're looking for a sell yesterday, but it looks like you're trying to go up, but they're going up really slow. So if this is trying to go up, you got a small, very small pullback here, you got a very small pullback here, probably a small running flat. You're getting a flat here. So this could be the first buy within the 50. And this would be the first buy if this thing continues to go up. We'll go with this flat, this smaller flat here. So go for the buy setup, and then this is Aussie Swiss. We'll put it to the buy. The bigger picture is upside as well. So go Aussie Swiss buy, and the bigger picture in the Aussie Swiss is also upside, right? As you can see, this is literally getting a big move to the upside. So let's take the trade. I think the upside makes sense. If it's going to be a sell in the next couple hours, we'll see that. We'll come back and look for the sell. If this is going to be a sell, oh, come on, not that one. One second, guys, let me just get this. So this is kind of going up there and we're getting a flat here. So this trade is worth going for the buy. Sorry about that, I just had to answer to something here. Yep. So take this off. The buy is a good idea. Let's go. Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD, definitely buy. This didn't drop lower, take it off. It's coming off now. So we're going to watch Aussie CAD when it comes to this level here, right? We're looking at a 1, 2, 3. You're going to watch it when it does that. If you're in the buy, you should be from here. If you're not, you can put an entry here. When it gets to that top, you're going to watch this trade very carefully here. Get it to break even. Because from there, it will either take off or it will come back down. Both of those are possible in this structure. Yeah. We broke the lows, so we can totally take off. But it could also be a correction and drop one. Let's see which one. I think it's a takeoff. So this is a very good trade. The risk is minimum. You can get break even out of it if it goes now. So this becomes a buy setup, an active buy actually. Aussie yen. Okay, if you had this wasn't a sell. This was the bottom, showing you the bottom. We had to wait for a flag here yesterday. I think I mentioned it. Wait for a flag because if they don't make a flag, they can make a bigger corrective structure. And that is possible. This could also be the low and they go back up. But I think they're going to come down from here. So let's see if we get a downside from there. If we get it, we're going to come and break this low, most likely. Right? So let's look for a sell setup from the top there. Come back at least to the low. We don't have any sell setups yet. We also don't have any buy setups, so wait. Aussie, New Zealand. That was a good buy if you buy it for 1, 2, 3. And like I told you, they're going to come back down for this one. They're going to go back up for this one. And then drop. So if you get a sell here today, that was your buy. If you get a sell here today, we'll take it. We don't have a trade. We'll look from a buy, we'll look at change it to a sell setup. And the move to the downside is pretty short. And we should be able to get the up trade as well. So you get this one here. And then you should be able to get a flag here to take this to the top. And then when you finish that trade, look for the sell. Because we spoke about this yesterday being the core correction. So it seems like we're getting it right. We'll see that. You want the flag here, that will be your trade. New Zealand Swiss. Yep, this one could go one more down. We're expecting the upside, but I think this still pretty much could drop one more. So the sell is very valid. New Zealand CAD. Okay, I forgot I had to remove this. I had no idea. We'll remove that later. So you have a move up and you're getting a big flat here. Probably going to make a move up, but I really don't like this to go. I don't think this is going to be the takeoff. If this is going to be a takeoff, let it go a little higher and then we start buying. And the reason is because you've got this sharp wave here. You've got this down and you've got that up. This is the first one that has a big consolidation. So when you break the top of this consolidation, you come back down, you go back up, you get a flat, you drop one more, and then probably up. All right, let's see. So the trade is a short trade to the upside. Let it happen. We look for the sell. New Zealand yen, well, I think we're making some kind of a bigger pattern there. We kind of drop very nice, then you pull back, drop, pull back again. Well, let's see. Now we want, once we break this top, let me take this out. A little more here, and then we start looking for the sell setup. Just let it break this top. Give it a chance to break that top, and then we start looking for a sell setup here. We take it from the top because this pattern definitely looks like it's going to come from the top. The question is, what if it's actually not doing that? What if this was all and we are trying to go up higher? Well, this is just one impulse. So the only way you're going to convince that it's going up totally is wait for this to start, come here and make an actually correction. So like I said, if it drop, we're in the trade, if we start to make correction, we take break even, we look for the buy. I don't see that happening. We had that here already. See, we had a drop, we had a flag, and then they drop. Actually making this one, right? This went up sharp, this went up sharp. Okay, without running flat. But what if they do 1, 2, 3 again, and then go back up? I think we'll clearly see that there's a pattern there, right? There's a 1, there's a 2, there's a 3, there's a 4, there's a 5. We'll go to WXYZ pattern and downside. So right now we want the trade from here to go down. Let's see if we can get that. Where's the last impulse? Well, the last impulse is literally here. If you want to use the last impulse, it's not a bad idea, but I think the best trade is let it break this top first. I'll take out all these lines. Those were sells and so in the past, so we'll take them out. And watch this stop. We need to break it. If we're making that flat, that expanding pattern. And then we'll see. So probably pull back here, make one more up and then downside. We may get a better entry than this one. Cut in. Okay, it should go down, but it's not going down as yet. So we're making a big flat here again. I think we're making something here. This does look like it can go back up like that. And then come back and then go back. We'll probably be in sideways for a long time. Because the waves are pretty sharp. So put it like this. And wait, take this out. That already fulfilled itself. Wait, now let's see what happens here. This looks very sharp, so I don't think that is the final one. We didn't break the low as well. So the buy here, probably ignore it. The sell will take. Swiss yen. I think this pulled back pretty deep, so we might get a flat. Right. Some pull back really, really deep, so we might get a flat here. Right, I don't think we're going to put these two as a running flat. Although this could be 1, 2, 3. This could be 1, 2, 3. And this just goes up. Yep, possible. I wouldn't really buy it here for it to go up. I'll wait a little more. So, and we will see how this whole thing behave, how this behave. Because it could be, you could look at it differently. This could kind of come down here. Go back there, come here, and then go back up. This would be the most corrective part. So let's see. See which one comes. Look for a sell setup short term first. Cat Swiss, buy setup. It's going up, so we'll take this as the low. You got a perfect buy setup here, and this is a really good one, right? So we got the up move, we got the down move, we got the up move. We're in this one. We think this is the most corrective one. We did this yesterday. We thought this one would go, and that didn't go. Let's see if this one goes now. And we're coming to retest this stop. Take this out. We're going to retest this stop. So buy setup perfect. Get an entry over here above the top. Keep a stop here and let's see where that goes. That's actually a very good trade for an upside. Let's go. This is a buy. I'll put an active buy. Natural gas broke out. It didn't go very far, so you can probably put another entry order and hope that this time it goes pretty far. I do want this to actually take off. So this was good, this was good, this was good yesterday. Let's see if we get this one today. And US oil. Okay, this didn't go very far, just a pullback within the structure. We kind of tagged the top, I think. This one will finish probably breaking the top there, but I don't think it's going to go up a lot. Let me see in the bigger picture what we think. And the bigger picture, we're expecting some downside. So I'll skip the buy. There's a buy setup here, and it might be a short-term trade you may want to take. But I don't see potentially this thing going up a lot. So I'll skip the buy. You can take it, and then we'll see where it's going to go. Risk to reward is not amazing there. Leave that. We'll look for the sell setup. Let's go S&P 500. Okay, it dropped. Depending on where you sell it, you got break even. And seems like they're going to drop again. So we'll put this like this. And let's see if we can get a sell set up here. Okay. So when it comes here, and then we'll see if it goes back up or if it actually breaks out. It's not going anywhere, just going sideways. Here's 30. Yep, got back up. So we can look at this a number of ways. You can look at it as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the final one is down. So the final one can be down and then go. Those are a number of possibilities how this can develop. Let's see how it develops. We'll track it on a daily basis and see where it goes. If we get any sales set up here, we'll take the trade. So on the hourly and 50 minutes, if we get any, we'll see where that goes. So let's go. Buy setup, definitely. You remember yesterday I said we're not selling this one. The reason we didn't sell it because we're a little low. And I said once they break that low, they could turn, and then the flag here becomes a buy setup. So we've got one down, we've got this. I think you can get it like this. You got 1, 2, 3 here. Could go back there, maybe come back here and then go, but the buy setup is a good idea. So what we're going to do here is get this to consolidate a little. And that becomes a really good buy setup. Just a little. If you're in the trade already from here, then put the break even. But it should consolidate there in an hour time frame, and that would be a good trade to the upside. Nifty. Well, you had a sell set up here. You might get another sell set up here. So go with this first, and then break the low, look for buys. Let's go. DAX. Okay, DAX going back up. So we'll assume that this whole thing was some kind of big. Let it come here. If it makes any flag, we start selling. Any flag from there would be a sell setup. All right, we can make an argument for 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So any sell setup we get there, we'll take it. If it goes a little higher, any sell setup. It has to go above here, make corrections, and then we start buying. So right now, sell setup. But this is the sell. Wait for a flag. Same here. Let's go back to Tesla. Tesla could be going up, but it's really, really slow. So what I'd say is put an entry order some 5, 10 pips above that and see if this actually takes off. And that would be a good trade. Bitcoin. Okay, so they go up a little more. And like I said, if Bitcoin goes up a little more, no problem. Just let it go. And wait for a reaction. So what you want is this here, and go with that trade down. goes up a little more, 1, 2, 3, and then this becomes a downside. So we might eventually put this here as a contracting flat. I will see. Maybe not, but we'll see it. But if this comes down, that's a good sell setup there for the sell. All right, let's go. Ethereum. Yep, you're getting a buy setup. So you can either put an entry now or wait until you get a flag here and then put an entry to buy the flag actually, not the whole impulse. But that's a good thing. Right? If it takes off, it's a good take off from there. This is just one piece. You want more of a correction here before you go. What if it's going to go back down? What if this is going to drop back down? If it's going to drop down, then you have to wait for it to come back here, make another flag, and then go for this one. Let's see which comes. XRP. I think we did this morning on the big picture. You should watch this, but it's likely going to be. This is a bit small, so give it some more time and then go for that trade. If it's going to be a flat, it's going to take a while. So we can go in a buy setup here. ADA up. But watch ADA with this move. See this move here? When it gets to that top there, there's a good chance you're looking at this for one more down. So this trade here would be very short-lived. You can still take it, but work towards break even if it doesn't go. If you don't know how to do that, don't take the trades yet. We broke the low here and we're going back up. Can we make this enough for take this up, sorry. I think that makes sense. It can go from there. It doesn't have to come lower. So any flag we get here, it's just one piece. Any flag you get here becomes a buy setup. Any flag. That's a perfect buy setup. So wait for it. Let's see. So you're getting a flat. I think we showed this yesterday that you're probably going to go back up there and then make this flat, and then you're looking for the sell. So keep an eye on that. We're looking for a sell setup there. And BNB. Take this off. That's a short one if you took it. We're literally in this. And any sell setup you get here will bring you to the low one, probably break out. And we're kind of going up, down, up, down, up. So I don't think we're gonna, we're gonna go out of this structure anytime soon. But a sell is not a bad idea. Put an entry here to sell. Put an entry here to sell. What BNB is a sell? Let's see. Dodge. Okay, you're getting a flat forming here as a possible running flat. So you can put an entry here for a sell. And if this is a flat, if this is a small flat here, we drop one more. And since we're out of the structure, we could drop pretty deep. I think it's going up some more, and then we look for the sell. This one was from yesterday. There's a buy setup here in the 15 if you want, but I don't think that's a great one. Just probably going to go a little more. 15 and then 15. Come on. So you can take this one, you can take this one, you can take that one, you can take that one. Now we're here, we can take this one to the downside. And then let's see where it goes. Because right now it's looking at least one more down. BNB. Sorry, yeah, BNB. Sell setup. Dodge, we finished Dodge already, I think, right? We were looking at linked. And finally that's the last one actually. So when this come here, look for one more down, and then that's it. One more down here. And then that's it. Right? Because from here, it can go back up. If it drops deeper, good for you. We're expecting a big move down. So if it goes, you'll be in this one. If it goes down from there, that would be this setup here. And a daily, right? So can it come back here? Or can it go on both of those possible now? Depending on how you look at this. This is the low for upside, or we're still within that correction. And there are many possibilities you can put it where you're still in that correction. So when it comes here, they'll tell us, does it come down or does it go back up? That's it. So, okay, guys, I think we've covered that. We can take some questions like I promised. I can't see the YouTube chat for some reason. Somebody give me a... Vic, can you type something in the YouTube chat? For some reason, I'm not seeing that. Let me see why. Okay, yeah, it's showing up now. Thanks. I think the first question is, can Bitcoin go lower despite divergence between the, let's see where you're looking at. Oh yeah, that divergence is just for the pullback. You're looking at those little divergences here. That's just for the pullback. Structurally, there's no upside as yet. Like I said, this is not structurally telling us upside as yet. Right? Because you have this sharp one here, this sharp move was here, this correction was here, there's not a sharp move there. You don't have any structure that says upside. And if it consolidates here a lot, maybe then we'll consider whether this is taking off. But for now, there's a good chance you'll retest the low, at least one more to this low. And then from there, we'll see what happens, how low it goes, right? Because literally it can come down all the way back to the bottom. Literally, we can come back all the way back to this bottom. And we might come down really, really, really slow. There's no need to rush it now. Just come down really, really slow. So a sell setup here is a good idea, and you already have one. It's such a good basically I don't think you should be scalping waves. That's a bad idea. So if you're looking for a strategy on how to do that, it's not that it's impossible. The idea is a bad idea because you're going to get yourself a lot of trades that are going to be messed up. You'll have to use a bigger stop than you're using. The profit you're going to get if you're scalping it, and that is a little dangerous. So I'll probably stay away from scalping waves. Right? Trade on the 15. If you get a good skill level, trade on the 5 minutes. If your skill level is that strong. Right? If you don't have that skill level, stay on the 15 and the 1 hour. Right? Let's go. We have some morning. Please can I have a review of the DAX 40? I think we did the 30, but you can look at the 40.
No, CSC 40.
Oh, CSC. Okay, I thought it was that.
The France.
CAC 40. Let's see the daily what this looks like. Okay, so this was a contracting flat in here. And take this out. That actually would have been a break even. So you're actually at the very top of this structure. Let's see. Depending on how you look at this, if we start from here, I think there's a good chance you can I'd probably put these two here first. I might put those two together. There's a good chance I might put these two together. There's a good chance I might put that as a 1 and this as a 1. So I might be looking for this 1, 2, 3. I might be looking for 1, 2, 3, and then up. So from here, I'd likely be looking for a sell setup on a medium term. Looking for a medium term sell setup, but take this out. Short term, if you're looking for a trade for a buy, it's possible if there are still buy setups there. Let me see. Yep, still buy setups. So short term, you can still come and break this top. It'll probably stay here a while. They're consolidating in this range a while. So we did break the low here. See, this did break the low, but I don't think that's taking off. It looks like this is going to come here, drop here, make another low, and then low. So if you want to put an entry above the top there to see whether this take off is okay. If it comes to the bottom, try to buy it from the bottom low. So one more impulse here possible on the shorter term. the big picture eventually will be to the downside. So this could come back and retest this low. I'll put the line here. We could come back and retest this low here and then go. That would be a better option for you to buy. Let it come back here and then buy. I wouldn't sell it there. And let's see. Can you go over Euro? Euro USD. So 1 hour. Euro USD could go both ways. This could be the end and we're going up, like I said, or this could be still dropping a little more here before we go. As of now, we're putting a sell setup in it because that's the best option we have. Putting a sell setup here. If we're going to get a buy setup, we would need, if we're going to get a buy, we would need this to start making a flag here. That would be a buy setup. So we don't have a buy. The Euro 1, 2, 3 sell yesterday was perfect. Let's see if this drops. It could drop one more stuff. If you get a flag before that for the sell, take the flag. For the upside, you really need a correction, kind of a bigger flag, put it that way. GFIG. Oh, that is somebody's name. Are you bullish or bearish in gold as a long-term investment? Neither. Gold is in a sideways move, so there's no bullish or bearish in trade right now when you're in a sideways. So you're literally here. This is where gold is. Long-term, gold is here. This is where gold is long-term. Depending on how it comes down, I think most likely in a medium-term downside. That's the higher probability downside in the medium term. Coming back here. This could be the absolute top on some charts. If that is the absolute top, then this could become more long-term down. So we can't make that forecast as yet. It's way too early. You're still in this. Even if you break the top, it's still in this. It could be an expanding flat in the middle here. They come back to the bottom and still go. If we stay in this range and it comes to the bottom here, right? If this comes to the bottom of this range here and then go back up, that will be bullish long term. From here, we will be bullish long term. So you can get a move like that. See, you get 1, you get 2, you get 3. You get 1, you get 2, you get 3. Now, is this trying to go up or is it trying to come back here? Most likely it looks downside. So when you go into 4 hour, you can see it's not looking upside. If it was looking upside, this one would literally be gone already. So there's a chance that it still goes from here. So if you're talking about short term, this is possible. Break this top. What happens when it breaks the top? Structurally, it could come down back or it could continue to go. So when you're sideways, you can't put a bigger direction long term because you're still sideways and we're still sideways for now. I hope that makes sense. Any insight on Euro USD? I think I just did it. Just did the Euro USD. GDX. I think we have that somewhere. I'll have to remove all of this because then we keep adding them twice. GDX. Let's see, we can go with the top one. Oh, we looked at this before. I can see that on the daily. And then we actually did it, prepared it. 1, 2, 3. This you're looking for a buy setup. It's actually coming down back. So I wouldn't say it's going down as such. You're kind of making a deeper consolidation here. Right? It might be a bigger consolidation here before we go. We'll give you a better entry to buy. So if we're going to 4 hours, we kind of pull back here, pull back here, pull back. You could probably pull back there, come back here, and then when you get this, that should probably be a buy setup. Can it come and retest the low here again? I don't think that it's possible. Why I wouldn't go in the sell side. I'd probably look for the buy setups then. You see, the buy would give you a sharp impulse. The buy side gives you a sharp impulse. I think this on the weekly, we looked at it and we figure out that what you have in the weekly is one up, down, up, and you're still making sideways here, right? You're still consolidating here. So you can still consolidate some, maybe even coming back here, but then this looks upside too. It doesn't look like an impulse trying to drop. These are the impulses. See, so we're correcting for upside. Question is, well, what do you do with a trade immediately if you're looking for a trade immediately? It still looks buy side to me. Even the shorter term trade, I would like this to probably go back up there. And then from there, we'll see if it takes off. So a buy setup would be getting a flag here. A sell setup, it has a drop here, make a correction. Make a correction here and then go for the retest of this low. Just retesting the low short term. But the medium term and long term is upside. EuroCAD buy. Let's see. Yep, Euro Swiss EuroCAD. That's good. Yep, EuroCAD buy, and you can buy it inside the structure. You can literally put the buy here. We put the buy here to go out. Very likely break this top. So the buy is a good idea. If it stays in here, take it for break even. What do you think about crude oil? Let's look at crude oil. Would it be US or would it be UK oil? So both of them upside. This one, there's a small, very small flag there, and the bigger picture is downside. So I'm not keen on the buy. When you get a big structure like this, that buy is almost a short thing. This gives a very deep pullback, and there's a very small flag there. So I'll just let it go. It's a buy setup. I'll let it go and then see if it turns. Right? Because at the top here, they might just break the top and pull back. So my thought process, this might just do something like this and then come back because we're at the top. And we start looking for sell setups. So I'm not keen on the buy. And it's also because of where we are in the bigger structure. See where we are in this structure. Can I get one? We get two, we get three. We have to get an either deeper correction and continue to go, or come back to retest this low, which makes sense. Right? This would be get a sharp one here, a sharp one here, get all this consolidation, make a bigger flat here. So in that sense, the downside is a better one for us. Anything else? YouTube has any other questions? Not necessarily swing, but you can do day trade with the wave. The question is on only swing with wave. No, you can actually take out shorter trades, but not scalping. You can take out 40, 50, 60 pips on a trade easy. You don't have to go 3, 4, 5 pips scalping. 4 hours is a little too much. I think 1 hour, 15 minutes, I'll say. If you day trade. If you trade in our group, we go with the 1 hour, 15 minutes mostly, which is good enough for us because you can close your trade at the end of the day. Daily webinar. This would be the daily webinar, Mohammed. So we do the recording. You can watch it on YouTube or you can watch it on Trading That Live. It's the same one.
All right, got it. I thought that we are live in the daily webinar.
No,
So
we can only go live one place.
So we are live on the YouTube right now?
YouTube. Yeah, so you can share that YouTube one to everybody as well.
Got it.
It's open to everyone, so more people can join. We didn't advertise it, so we didn't tell anybody. So the viewing is small, but you can share it, no problem. And it's up to you guys to share it if you like what we do. So, okay, guys, I think we've completed everything. You've seen how wave analysis work. You've seen, I think if you want to know how wave analysis is powerful, this would be a telling. This here from yesterday should be a telling. Because the trade was clearly sell here just to break the low, sell here to come and break this low. And when you break that low, expect it to go back up. Now, it was here when we put that trade on. So if you think I can guess my way out with coming here and then going back up, good luck to that. Right? If you're super good at guessing your way, and if you can do that very often, then there's something to it, right? Let's say that was a good guess. Well, let's take, for example, which other one we had a very good trading. If I can remember. Well, Euro USD, sell. Remember, we thought this could break the low. I still think it could go break the low. Right? So you close that trade here, but it did drop. So now we're looking at this and say, structurally, is it changing? Let me take these two out and show you something. So can we assume that this here was a contracting flat? Because we had it as a contracting flat originally, that this was a contracting flat. And for our traders, this is exactly what we're doing in the trading room now, what we're doing in the classes now, identifying patterns and how they change. So if you're one of my group traders who want to join, you should join us today. If you didn't join yesterday, watch yesterday's recording. It is amazing. Right? So we're looking for is this could drop here again. Right? break the low and then totally go back up, or it could go back up like this, make another flat here, and then come down. Can it totally take off? Well, the bigger picture, yeah, why not? It could. We will just put this here and say that is a running flat. Take off this one. We'll just put this here and say, well, maybe this is all for the running flat, and that is okay. If you get a running flat looking like that, it's okay. The euro will have the same type of running flat. But I have a very strong feeling we're going to come back here. See, the depth of this pullback is important. So when they pull back so deep, the chances are they might just do this and then come here and then go, making a flat here. That's possible. So we're going to look for the buy, and then if we're wrong and it takes off like a rocket, well, good for all of us. All right, that'd be a good trade. So come back in the 15 minutes, look for a buy setup. Put this sell here, but if it makes a flag here longer, we'll go with the buy. Okay, guys, if you want to know what happens to all those trade setups we looked at, join us this afternoon in the New York session. It is going to be 7:45 a.m. New York time. Invite other traders to join. Watch it on YouTube, watch it on trading.live, or join our group. If you join our group, you get access twice daily to CDs. All right, so see all of you. Take care. Thanks for coming. Bye.